השרת מלאכי עליון ממלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש הקדוש ברוך הוא בואכם לשלום מלאכי השלום מלאכי עליון ממלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שלום עליכם שלום עליכם מלאכי השרת מלאכי עליון ממלך מלאכי המלכים הקדוש הקדוש ברוך הוא תלכם לשלום מלאכי השלום מלאכי עליון ממלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שלום עליכם שלום עליכם מלאכי השרת מלאכי עליון ממלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש הקדוש ברוך הוא
Shabbat Shalom, welcome to Beth Torah Benero Campus. Our service will begin in page 25. Come, let us sing to God, Lechu Nera Nena.
לכו נרננה לאדוני נהריה לצור אישנו נקמה פניו בתודה בזמירות נהריה לו כי אל גדול אדוני ומלך גדול על כל האלוהים אשר ותועפות ההרים יאי לי 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 יאי לי לי יאי לי לכו נרננה לאדוני נהריה לצור אישנו נקמה פניו בתודותיו בזמירות נהריה לו
שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, 26.
שירו לאדוני שיר חדש שירו לאדוני כל הארץ שירו לאדוני ברכו שם ועשו מיום אל יום ישועתו. ספרו הגויים כבודו, וכל העמים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני ומהולל מאוד, נורא הוא על כל האלוהים. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, ועשו מיום אל יום ישועתו. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, כי גדול אדוני ומהולל מאוד, נורא הוא על כל האלוהים. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ.
Zamru Ladonai Bechinor. We are now in the middle of page 30. You can be helped with the transliteration, bottom of the page.
זמרו לאדוני בכינור, בכינור וכל זמרה, בחצוצרות וכל שופר, הריעו לפני המלך אדוני. זמרו לאדוני בכינור, בכינור וכל זמרה,
Promembu Adonai Eloheinu veishtachavu lehar kodsho. Promembu Adonai Eloheinu veishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ya la 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 ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romembu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romembu. Romembu
אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו.
Please rise if you are able to. Number of the page 36, מזמור לדוד. מזמור לדוד. איי 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 איי. אבו לאדוני בעיני אלים. אבו לאדוני כבוד בעוז. אבו לאדוני כבוד שמו. תשתחוו לאדוני ביד הקודש. כל 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 אדוני על המים אל הכבוד ירים אדוני על מים רבים. איי 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 כל אדוני איי כל אדוני בהדר כל אדוני שובר ארזים וישבר אדוני את עזי הלבנון וירקידם כמו עגל לבנון וציריון כמו בן רמים. איי 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 כל אדוני קומץ לבודש כל אדוני יכיל מדבר יכיל אדוני מדבר קדש כל אדוני יכול אל איילות ויחצור יערות
והיכלו כולו אומר קור אדוני למעבוד יבוא שפה ישב אדוני מלך לעולם אדוני יוז לאבו ייתן אדוני יברך לבוא שלום ילאי ללאי ללאי יאי ללאי ללאי ינאי ללאי ללאי ילאי ללאי ללאי יאי ללאי יאי ללאי
Page 41, keep and remembering one divine word. Our people at Sinai, God's command heard. Our God is one and one is God's name. God is the glory, God is the fame. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Page 40, 40.
לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. שמור לזכור בדיבורך תשמיענו, אל עמך אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד של תפארת ונתילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו בניך כי בכל הברכה מראש מקדם נסוך עשו במעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה כל מיצים מתוך וחרב לך שבט ובקבך והוא יחבול עלייך אליו. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. עיד לריב מאפקו מגילי שיביתי תפארתך מיד בשי ותלך מקורבה אל נפשי נפשי גאלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי איי 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 לקראת כלה, פני שבת ושבת נקבלה. התעוררי התעוררי כי באורך ומאורי אורי אורי איי 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 לקראת כלה, איי 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 בני שבת, בני שבת נקבלה. לא תבושי ולא תקלמי, מה תשתוכחי ומדמי, בך יחסו אני ימים, ונבנתה עיר אל תילה. איי 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 לך דודי, איי 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 לקראת כלה, איי 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 בני שבת, בני שבת נקבלה. והיו למשיסו שוסייך ורחקו וכל בלייך יחסיס עלייך אלוהייך כמסוס חתן חתן על כלה. איי 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 לך דודי, איי 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 לקראת כלה, איי 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 בני שבת, בני שבת נקבלה. ימינו ושמאל תפרוצי את אדוני תריצי הידיש ופרצי ונשמחה ונגילה. איי 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 לך דודי, איי 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 לקראת כלה, איי 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 בני שבת, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום את תרד בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצולה. טוב אמוני עם סגולה, בואי כלה, בואי כלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. הללויה, 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 הללויה,
Hallelujah. You can be seated, please. Hoy מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בכינור. מזמור שיר טוב להודות ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. כי שימחתני אדוני בפועליך, במעשה ידיך אדנן. מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. מזמור שיר ולזמר
לזמר ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. צדיק התמר, bottom of page 44. 44 in the bottom, Hebrew, English, transliteration.
בלבנון יזכה, שתולים בבית אדוני, חצרות אלוהינו יבריחו. צדיק התמר יפרח, ארץ בלבנון יזכה, שתולים בבית אדוני, וחצרות אלוהינו יבריחו. אור ינובון בשיבה,
Psalm 93, Tehillim 93, page 46. Adonai,
Adonai, malach geut lavesh, Adonai ozit azan, aftikon tevel, baltimot, aftikon tevel, baltimot, nachon, kisachar me'olam ata. נעשהו נערות אדוני, נעשהו נערות כל עם יסעו, נערות אוכיים מקולות מים רבים, אדירים ישבעם, אדיר במרום אדוני, אדיר במרום אדוני. עדותיך נאמנו מאוד, לביתך נאווה קודש, אדוני לאורך ימים, אדוני לאורך ימים, מקולות מים רבים, אדירים ישבעם, אדיר במרום אדיר במרום אדוני.
The call to worship known as Baruch can be found in page 52. Please rise if you're able to. 52. Praise God, the source of all blessings.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? I'm listening to my prayer. Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch hu et Adonai.
Baruch Adonai המבורך לעולם ועד, לעולם ועד. ידעי די די, ידעי די די, ידעי די די, ידעי די די, ידעי ברוך אתה אדוני לכל עם אשר בדברו מריב הרבים, חוכמה פותח שערים, בתבונה משנה עתים ומחליף את הזמנים ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו.
אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד, לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב הרבים.
אהבת עולם, number of the page is 60. אהבת עולם, בית ישראל, עמך אהבת, תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת. אוי על כן אדוני אלוהינו, בשוכבנו ובקומנו, נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם. כי הם חיינו, ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגה יומן ולילה, יומרן ולילה.
ועברך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל.
שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. וחיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשתך ביתך, ולכתך בדרך, ושופך וקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, וחיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך.
$80.82. Adonai Elohechem Emet. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, middle of page 86.
Yada lai 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 yada lai 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 yada lai 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 yada lai 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 yada lai 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 yada dai yada dai dai mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh Torah te'ilodo osefele osefele על חוטך ראו בניך וכי הים לפני משה זה אלי ענו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ידה לי 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 ידה לי 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 ידה לי ידה לי 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 ידה לי 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 ידה לי ונאמר כי בד אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל ידה לי 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 ידה לי 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 ידה לי Yada da 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 yada da 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 yada da da yada da da
Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom, Hebrew and transliteration, page 90.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום ועמידנו מלכנו לחיים השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום ועמידנו מלכנו לחיים ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ותקננו בצע טובה מלפניך השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום ועמידנו מלכנו לחיים השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום ועמידנו מלכנו לחיים
ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ברוך אתה הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ועל ירושלים אמן ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ברוך אתה אדוני הפורס עלינו ועל כל עמו עלינו ועל ירושלים אמן. Please rise if you are able to 96 ושמרו בני ישראל.
ישראל את השבת, את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם, ברית עולם, ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת, שבת וינפל. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, לעולם.
חצי קדיש. 108.
יתקדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעולמה תברך חירותי, וימליך מלכותי, וחייכונו יומכון, וחיי דכל בית ישראל. בגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם עולמיה יתברך וישתבח, ויתבואר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה, ויתהלל שמי לקודשה. ברכו לילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעולמה, ואמרו אמן. ידעי אדוני, שפתי תפתח, ופי יגיד תהילתך. ידעי אדוני, שפתי תפתח, ופי יגיד תהילתך. ידעי אדוני, שפתי תפתח, ופי יגיד תהילתך. אדוני, שפתי תפתח, ופי יגיד תהילתך.
With our body, souls, minds, prayer to Jerusalem, pages 110 to 118, the silent Amidah.
עושה שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו. עושה שלום,
עושה שלום
ממרומה, הוא יעשה שלום,
שלום,
שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום,
עושה שלום,
עושה שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום,
הוא יעשה שלום,
שלום עלינו,
שלום עלינו,
ועל כל ישראל,
על כל ישראל,
ועל כל יושבי תבל,
כל יושבי תבל,
ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום,
עושה שלום,
עושה שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום,
שלום,
שלום עלינו,
שלום עלינו,
ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום,
עושה שלום,
עושה שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו,
שלום עלינו,
ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו אמן. ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו אמן.
קדיש שלם 134.
יתקרא ויקרא שמי רבם ועל מה דברך רדבי מיך מלכותי וחייכון ובכל וחייך ובית ישראל בגלל בזמן קרים אמרו אמן
אמן.
ישמי רבם מבורך ליום ליום מעלמיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויבואר ויתרומם וינשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי לקודש הבריחו לילה מכל ברכתה ושירתם תושבחתה ונחמתה דמין מיום אמרו אמן תתקבל צלותון ובאותון דכל ישראל קדם אבון נשמע אמרו אמן יש למה רבה ונשמע וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל אמרו אמן על זה שלום אמרו ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל אמרו
Together with the Nae Silbergleit family, please join us for Kiddush as our Bar Mitzvah will hold the Kiddush cup and sing Kiddush for us. Congregation, please rise.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו מצוותיו ורצבנו ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו זיכרון מעשה בראשית כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת
Ya manhar waliyeni ene wena libkiti aniya tulam riman elzek yarzeni fain anti la muima fain kanti la khbiba nahiti manhar limshiti أولاديان عملوها بيا يمنوا لنا يفرج عادية يا ماما دويني انت مشيتي وخليتيني يا ماما كيفاش خليتيني بلاش وين موت بلخمو ما نهار ولياني انا وينا يرزلي ما ننساك يرزلي ما ننساك يرزلي
So when we ask any cantor and myself to sing a song tonight, to introduce the guest speakers, we're thinking which kind of song to pick. So the song Annie just sang is in Arabic about a mother. So why this song? Because I know the Abraham Accord, which brought peace and will bring more peace, will create a lot of tourism between one country and the other. People will get richer because there will be more business. But we care that maybe one day Arab mothers and Jewish mothers will stop bearing their children. And this is the message we want to convey. This is what peace brings. Peace brings that family can dream with a future of not going to war and not being killed for money, for oil, for land. And that's why the last Shabbat of the year is dedicated to that message and to those people who dedicate their lives to bring peace. So enough with me. Let me introduce those who will share the next couple of minutes with us on the Bima. We are honored to receive the Sharaka group. And first, let me introduce a personal friend and a person who is instrumental in everything you see the Israel consulate does in this part of the world, Ariel Roman, the Director of Cultural Affairs in our consulate.
Thank you, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom. I feel at home. The Israeli consulate does many activities here. There's a reason. It's a strong, vibrant community, great leadership. So thank you all for welcoming us. As the Rabbi was saying, we're finishing up the year. And what a better message than prosperity, peace, unity. So the Sharaka group that you see here, we have 5 members. One of them just arrived from Dubai, the executive director, Dan Pfefferman. They've been here since Monday, and they have been nonstop meeting with quite a variety of communities, Muslim, Christian, Jewish. Can you hear me? You can hear me better now? Sorry about that. I won't repeat though. So they've been meeting a variety of people, whether it's on campuses, Jewish students, Hillel, students from psychology or international relations. They've met boards from the International Trade Consortium, Global Affairs Council, and so on and so forth. So they've been bringing this message to people who are not aware of it. Maybe within the Jewish community or Muslim community, they know about this a little bit, but there's nothing like listening to them, hearing them, the emotion, how genuine they are, because they really feel it. They've dedicated their lives to this. They'll all go into the details. They're independent. They're not speaking on behalf of any government. I'm just helping them with their itinerary. But you'll be amazed, just like everybody who has listened to them has been so far. And they will continue. They started in Miami, Broward, Palm Beach. They'll be in Orlando and also in Gainesville. I also wanted to mention a very special guest that came from Boca, Rose Sager, who is Jewish Bahraini, and she's the trade representative of the Kingdom of Bahrain. So, without further ado, thank you again for welcoming us, and I know they're going to have a beautiful discussion now. So if you can, I guess, Rabbi, you want me to bring him? Or? So the Rabbi will do the rest. Thank you again. Shabbat Shalom. Oh, well, I'll do it. Please, Dan, can you join us? Mickey, Dr. Ahmed, Yosef, and Fatima. They will actually introduce themselves. They can express it much better than I can. Shana Tova.
Got it? You can hear me now? Amazing. Okay, hello everyone. Ariel, thank you for the beautiful introduction. I just want to add, he's done much more than just our itinerary. He has been our rock and our comfort zone and our everything while we've been in Miami. So thank you to Ariel and the Israeli consulate. Thank you to rabbis, wherever they just went, hello, and to the congregation for welcoming us into your beautiful Beit Knesset, your beautiful synagogue. My name is Michaela Dubry. I'm the development director for Sharaka, and I am one of the Israeli panelists this week. As you can hear, I'm obviously American as well. I was born and raised in Irvine, California, in a beautiful Jewish community as well. Very different to this one, but I'm so pleased to be here. And I'm just very excited to let us introduce ourselves and share more about our work, our organization, and each of our unique stories in Sharaka. So I'll pass the torch, and then we'll come back to me to talk more about the organization.
Hello, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. I'm so happy to be here with you today. My name is Fatima. I'm from Bahrain, and my father's family comes from Saudi Arabia also. I'm a novelist. I wrote 5 fiction novels about women's life in the Gulf area in Bahrain and discuss issues that matters to me like mental health. I'm an athletics champion. I still hold the record in long and triple jump in the Gulf region. And I just started my PhD in management and leadership. And I'm also Sharaka's Gulf Affairs Director.
Good evening and Shabbat Shalom. I'm Ahmed Kuzai as well from Bahrain. I'm really delighted to be here tonight. I am a husband and a father, a professor of international relations, a political consultant, and recently an advocate for peace with Sharaka. I'm the political affairs director with Sharaka. I'm really happy to be here amongst you.
Shalom Aleichem and Shabbat Shalom. I'm Youssef El-Azari. I'm from Morocco, from Marrakesh exactly. I was very pleased and honored to hear not an Arabic music, that's a Moroccan song. And I was very surprised to hear it and to sing it with you, because I was singing when I didn't know the meaning. But at least one of those songs kind of touched me, and I know its meaning. So I am the Moroccan director of Sharaka. I have a marketing and business background back in Morocco. As you know, Morocco has a huge heritage and a huge relationship with the Jews. We are the only Arab country that has the biggest Jewish community. I grew up with the Jews myself. One of my godfathers is the rabbi of Marrakesh. And also, Morocco is the only country that has it in its own constitution, Islam and Judaism as official religion. Besides that, I am very happy also because I want to share a message of peace. It's very frustrating and sad to see that the two religions that are very close to each other hate each other right now. This afternoon I was praying in a mosque, Masjid al-Ansar, And today, the same day, I'm with you here in Shabbat. So we have one day, one religious day that we share together. We have many things that we share together. My mother, when I was studying in Delaware, she always told me, if you get lost and you don't find any Muslim family, at least go to a Jewish family. The food is halal at least, and I will be very glad if you spend the day with a Jewish family. So it's very frustrating, very sad that we hate each other because of the propaganda, trying to polarize the public opinion that this is wrong, this man is bad, this man is good, this is a hero, this is an enemy. But I think my generation is a little bit eclectic about this topic. They know what's right and they know what's wrong. And that I hope that in this complex world, full of secular people, full of non-believers, at least I hope that the two best friends will get along again, the Muslims and the Jews, because we share so many things together. That's it.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'll speak without a microphone. Wonderful to be here. I literally landed a few hours ago from... I'll speak up. I don't have the microphone. I literally got off a plane from Dubai to here just a few hours ago. I live in Israel, and I grew up between Israel and the U.S., so it's really wonderful to see this beautiful packed synagogue with beautiful music, and to see all of you here on Shabbat. In my previous life, I was an IDF officer. I'm working on national security affairs and Middle East affairs, and then I became a Jewish world scholar, and my second book now is coming out on the American Jewish community. And this is my third career and my third life. I had a calling to try to do something maybe ambitious, and that is take these new governmental agreements called the Abraham Accords and make them real and deep and felt by people on the ground. And we started 2.5, almost 3 years ago with some young Israelis and Emiratis and Bahrainis. And soon after, when Morocco joined, we brought Morocco on board. And that's who we are. We're a grassroots nonprofit organization that's working to make the peace real, to make it felt, to make it understandable, to peel back 7 decades of ignorance and conflict and vilification, and then to bring this message around the world to build as much of a community of Jews, of Muslims. We were in a mosque earlier today, of Christians, of anybody who has the wrong impressions about the Middle East, or the wrong idea about Israel in the Middle East, or about the Arab states in the Middle East, about what the Abraham Accords are and the potential that they've unlocked. And that's what my friends will share their stories here today. So thank you again, and Shabbat Shalom.
I'm back? Okay. Thank you, Dan. Dan is our executive director at Shiraka, and like he said, he just got off the plane from Dubai a few hours ago, and that is just a small example of the type of work we do. Dan was asked by the Detroit Jewish Federation and a group of leaders to go and accompany them and be the scholar in residence on the ground for their experience in the UAE. As Dan mentioned, Shiraka is a nonprofit based in the Abrahamic countries. Right now we're based in Israel, the UAE, Bahrain, and Morocco. And I'm going to take us back a few decades to the peace treaties signed by Israel with Jordan and Israel with Egypt. This happened in the 70s and in the 90s. And it's nice that Israelis can go to Jordan and to travel to Petra and Sinai, but what's come from that? What's come from these peace agreements? We see that there is still a lot of anti-Semitism in Jordan and in Egypt, and there is also on the Israeli side a lot of misunderstanding and vice versa in Israel against Jordanians and Egyptians. And why is this? Because it's stayed at the government level. When governments sign peace treaties, what does that mean to all of us, right? Unless I don't know something, not all of us work for the government. So with this opportunity, with the Abraham Accords being signed in September of 2020, Shiraka and the young leaders that founded this organization saw this as an opportunity to go the step further. Instead of looking at the peace treaties signed as just treaties, they thought this is the foundation for us to take the step further and to bring it from the government down to the actual people that the peace treaty can affect. And that's what we do at Sharaka. Through different delegations in the Arab world, in Israel, in America, like you see here. We've been traveling all around Miami and South Florida for the last 5 days, and we're going to continue on for another 5 days. And we do this about once a month, I would say, once every other month. We are in the States affecting different communities and sharing our stories and sharing our work, hoping that the gap can be closed from the US and what's actually going on in the Middle East. I'd like us each to share about how we got involved in Sharaka. I think it's very unique. I'll briefly share my experience. I was born and raised in Irvine, California. I am the daughter of South African immigrants, and I was raised in a very small immigrant community. I met an American when I was 6, and I was born in America. So if that tells you the tight, close-knit community, that's a good anecdote for it. When I was in university in California at Cal Poly SLO, I was studying broadcast journalism, and I immediately fell in love with Israel advocacy on campus, which is, in Florida, it seems like everything is kind of calm, which we were very pleasantly surprised about. But in California, it's not like that. There's a lot of anti-Semitism on campus. There's a lot of hatred towards Israel and towards Jewish students. There's a lot of ignorance and misunderstanding, and I experienced this in college. And I found myself fighting for Israel to just stay a part of the sentence. And this baffled me. I had an opportunity during my undergraduate degree to go to Israel and to work for I-24 News, which is a TV channel in Israel that reports in English, French, and Arabic. And while I was there, I became producer of a mini-series called Dubai News. This was the first TV show created post-Abraham Accords signing. That was an initiative by the UAE Ministry of Tourism with Israel to create a flow of traffic and to create the comfortability for Emiratis and Israelis to get to know each other through my mini-series. I produced 28 episodes, which means I did 28 interviews, which means having to understand 28 different parts of Emirati society, whether that be politics, religious figures, culture, art, high-tech, anything that you can think of, I interviewed them. And one of my interviews was with a woman named Alanud Al-Hashmi, who's from Dubai. And she was talking to me during the interview about the company she was a founding member of, which was Sharaka. And Alanud showed me videos of a Lag BaOmer celebration that took place in Dubai. And in this video, I saw Emirati Muslim people dressed in their traditional clothing, and Orthodox Jews in Dubai dancing together, celebrating Lag BaOmer. And I thought, this is very strange, because I came from this polarized campus where the word Israel wasn't even acceptable on campus all of a sudden. And now I'm seeing actual Israelis and actual Israeli Arabs and Jews dancing with Emiratis from the UAE, celebrating Lag BaOmer nonetheless. What's going on? What is this gap? And what is going to happen to be able to close the gap? There's something being lost in translation from what's going on through the Abraham Accords and what's going on campus here. I made Aliyah a little bit after I had this job, and a few jobs later, I'm now the development director for Sharaka, and that's how I got involved with the company. I feel very lucky to be sitting here with my incredible colleagues, and I think you'll be very touched by their stories and how they got involved as well. So I'm going to pass the torch.
Thank you. So my story started right after the Abraham Accord signing. It was in September 2020, exactly 3 years ago. A month later, it was still COVID time. No one could travel out and in the country, but especially Israel had really strict laws into people getting out and in the country. One of my friends called me right after the signing by 1 month, and she told me the most random question you can imagine. Fatima, do you want to go to Israel? I was like, yes. That was the easiest yes for me, but my mom and my dad was afraid because of the image they have about Israel that they've always saw through the news and the media and the community. But I was so curious. I said yes out of curiosity. I wanted to see it by my own eyes. I wanted to see the reality. I wanted to see the unknown about Israel. So we traveled to Israel. It was still because of COVID time. There were no embassies yet, no visas. We had to go through Dubai, which was 7 hours transit time in Dubai. The whole flight took 10 hours. And today, from Bahrain to Tel Aviv, it's just 2 hours and a half flying through the Saudi airspace. We took the 10 hours flight. We arrived in Tel Aviv. I don't know what to think. We went directly to Tel Aviv street. I was wearing my traditional clothing, my headscarf, the hijab, and the abaya, the black dress. So it's easy to notice where I'm from. The moment we walked down the street, a Jewish family stopped us and they told us, I have a question. Are you from Bahrain or Dubai? They immediately knew because of all the news happening because of the Abraham Accord. And we answered, I'm from Bahrain, I'm from Dubai. And they told us, welcome, we've been waiting for you for a long time, which means having peace with Arabs, with our neighbors, with Israeli neighbors. That touched my heart. I didn't expect that I would be received with so much love. I was a celebrity for a moment. My pictures were all over the news, all over social media, complete strangers stopping me in the streets, taking pictures with me. I received so much love. As Yusuf always loved to say, this is the people they were supposed to hate us. And as a Muslim, I'm supposed to hate them. That's what we thought. But I've never received as much as this love in Tel Aviv and Israel. I was invited by complete strangers to Shabbat dinners, to parties, to everything. They don't know me. I'm an Arab. I should be a threat to them. But everyone received me with love. But at the same moment, I have a couple of thousand followers on social media. I shared my trip. I just wanted people to know back home about the reality of Israel. It's not the same thing that you see through the news. I met with Israeli Jewish people, Israeli Druze, Israeli Arabs, all different components of the community. We went to different villages. I went to pray in Al-Aqsa. I went to the Western Wall, to the Golan Heights, Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, all places. So I took an idea about the community and the people. So I shared my experience through social media. The moment I shared it, I received a lot of pushback, backlash. People started telling me, I'm not a Muslim. I should take this off. You're not one of us anymore. You're not an Arab. I hope you die. I hope your airplane crashes. You're a traitor for just visiting Israel. So even my sister, which was back home, she didn't travel with me. She received a lot of hate and bad words. That position only made me stronger. It was bad at the beginning, and it made me sad, but it made me stronger. It's made me realize that I found my message, that I really want to advocate for peace. I want people to know the reality. I want to bring people together, Jewish, Muslim, and Christians. I started working with Sharaka full-time, advocating for peace and building bridges. Since then, since that trip, this trip changed my whole life.
Thank you, Fatima. Now, coming from the only country in the Gulf that hosts an indigenous Jewish community, I thought I would know all about Israel, but that's one country. You can't just read about it and understand everything about it. Similar to Fatima, I was invited by Dan to visit Israel right after the Accords. I was shocked. It's not what I thought I'd see. It's not what we were taught back in school. It's not what I ever thought I'll experience in my life. Part of what we were told, it's an apartheid state. So leaving the airport, just looking at the signs on the street, they are all trilingual. It's in Hebrew, Arabic, and then English. Why would you recognize a language of people if you are hating them, if you don't consider them as part of your community? That was eye-opening. That was awakening. 2 weeks later, touring all over Israel, meeting all sorts of communities, people, groups. That changed my mind. Now, prior to that trip, I was planning to run for public office back home. But in order for me to run for office, I should keep this trip a secret, which is something I didn't want to do. Now, after coming back, thinking about the whole thing, I changed my mind. I didn't want to run for office. I wanted to work for a higher purpose, something that will have a bigger impact on myself, my family, my boys, and the world as well. So I called Dan, telling him that I'm joining you. Figure out a way. I am joining. Why? Changing people's lives is not something that's small. It's something that will outlast me. We're talking about bigger programs that we're conducting. First of all, Sharaka, it's an Arabic word that means partnership. Partnership between brothers here, brothers and sisters. We conduct lots of programs year-long. Recently, we launched the Holocaust and Tolerance program that introduces Arabs and Muslims to what the Holocaust was, how it happened. We take them to Auschwitz, and from Auschwitz we take them to Yad Vashem in Jerusalem. They tour the country just like I did in order for us to change the narrative of the Middle East. I'm not sure if you've heard about countries like Bahrain, like Emirates, like Saudi Arabia, who changed their textbooks today to include all of that. But can you imagine having textbooks that are great, but will be taught by people who are still anti-Semitic? What change can we do there? We're trying to help in changing the narrative by taking educators on those trips in order for them to understand firsthand, come back home, and really teach kids on how reality is, history, and just eliminate hate from our agendas. Other programs, just last week we were in Jerusalem. We hosted a delegation of American imams who came to Israel to understand how Muslims are treated. It's not what they see on the media, it's not what they witness on the news. They saw it with their own hands, how imams are being treated in Israel. How are they organized? How are they paid? Where do they live? Their conditions. And they were amazed, and I was, as a Muslim, mesmerized as well. Other programs are in the loop. We're developing programs as we go. We work with many people. We work under our government supervision. We are trying to change our future. And that's something we all hope for.
So basically, you are gonna ask yourselves, like, what makes us a little different than other organizations, in a sense that there was a lot of civil society initiatives that tried somehow to kind of sustain an initiative of peace between the Arab world and Israel. The only difference here is that we are right now Arabs and the Muslims standing with Israel, and it's very logical for us. Like when you go right now to Israel and you see that somehow more than 20% of its populations are Arabs and they live together with the Jews. You see that they have their own civil rights, they have good health, good system care, like a health care system, they have good education and all that. And on the other side, you see that there's a lot of innocent Palestinians, some victims of their own system, their own terrorist system that trying to kind of censor them to speak up. And even if you ask them, and I'm sure about that they would love to go to Israel to at least to educate their own children in Israel schools. So for me, I stand with Israel here as a Muslim Arab, as a Moroccan. It's because I want at least those people to have a glimmer of hope that if Israel is opening up, then my fight is about radicalism. My fight is really against radicalism, that I want people to make sure that they need to speak up about their own terror. They need to speak up about the things that matters to them, which is like to fight the people that they are restraining them from their own freedom. Back in Morocco, and I am very happy to share this with you, the King Mohammed V, back in the 40s, when he was asked about by Vichy, like to speak up about the Jews that they were living in Morocco, he wrote a letter, and he said there is no Jews. And then Vichy reported that to Hitler, that the King Mohammed V said that there is no Jews in Morocco. And this is somehow one of those initiatives how King Mohammed V protected the Jews back in Morocco. Like, after 75 years, the Jews never forget that. And they were always helping us Moroccans, as Israelis, about our Moroccan sovereignty or the Moroccan Sahara, and they always kept their promise to protect us. And right now, after the Abraham Accord, we had right now two allies, Americans and Israel, to kind of play iron fist against any threats, whether from Algeria, from Spain and France. So I know when a Jew gives you a promise, he kept it. And of course, that's right now my right and my privilege to speak up about this and to say that me as a Muslim, I feel very, as a Moroccan especially, I feel very, I know it in French, redevable, like I owe you something, like you owe me, how can you say that? I felt indebted, yeah. I felt indebted to the Jews that they always protected my country. And it's my payback right now to tell the truth to you as Jews living here in America, but also to my own Muslims back in Morocco, that the peace starts with a dialogue, with love, and with peace initiatives like that. If there is any problem, we eat a meal and we have a Shabbat dinner about it. So listen.
That's a little bit about us, our unique stories, and how we got to Sharaka. I would love to hand it back over so you can all proceed with your Shabbat service. If you're interested in getting involved with our work, please reach out. If you're interested in just supporting, learning more, keeping up to date, our website is sharakango.com, and I think it's on some of the flyers that were in the Sidurim. If not, I will ask your rabbi and community leaders to send it out in an email to you guys so you can keep in touch. But we're always open ears and open arms to people that want to get involved. So thank you for welcoming us into your community, and we hope to visit you guys again soon. So thank you for letting us share.
Wow. This was absolutely amazing. Toda Rabba, shukran. So just one story for the group. You mentioned Vichy, correct? There's a story that we told a couple of times here. During the Holocaust, there was the tanks of the Nazis entering that village in Poland, and there was a grandma who came against them with a stick. And they say, they will kill you. She goes, say, they will kill you, stop. They say, they may kill me, but they will be clear in which side I am. And this is exactly you. I can imagine it's not funny because your family say, what do you need, Fatima, all these problems? You don't have enough problems, correct? I don't know if that's exactly the accent, it's my South America, but the problems, what are the problems, correct? Okay. But you enter in the problems because we don't know different, because you have souls. And let me tell you, I met Muslim people in my life many times. Your message is so real. And dvarim hayotzim min halev nechnasim el halev. When you speak from the heart, and it's real, we can feel it. So toda rabba, thank you, and shukra to all of you. Salam alaikum. Please rise for Aleinu 166. עלינו לשבח לדורון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות אדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כאם, גורלנו ככל עמונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר היה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו Before we include the Mones Kaddish, allow me first to include share our love, our sympathy, our respect
Very nice.
to our cantor who just lost this morning his grandpa. May the soul of the beloved Richard Lanin, Reuven Gabriel, be bound in life eternal and know what he meant to you and what you meant to him, and this is forever. So our love to our cantor. We have the Frank family, our love and respect to Richard's family, a person who was kind and smart, a devoted father and grandpa, and show you the right way, and we are the beneficiary from those values that you grew up. So welcome to the Franks. Our love and respect to the family of Alegría Benatar. They are observing the culmination of the period of mourning of the entire year. Sunday will be the unveiling. May Alegría continue to inspire all of you. Our love to the family of Lydia Barenboim de Ochman, who passed away peacefully in Argentina during the day. May the soul of all these people, we just mentioned their names, continue to be inspiration for generations to come. Amen. Mones Kaddish 184. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דיברה חירותה וימליך מלכותה, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב אמרו, אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעלם ולמי עלמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה, בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה. תמידם בעלמא, ואמרו אמן. יהא שלמה רבה משמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום ממרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. You can be seated. Greetings from our president, Michael Kotzen.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to Beth Torah. Special welcome to all of our new members and our visitors. Thank you to our clergy, to our staff, to our band, to our audio-video crew, and to everybody who had a part in tonight's Shabbat service, especially our guests from Shiraka. We really appreciate you being here. It was very interesting and educational and moving and special, and we thank you for joining us for the last Shabbat service of the year. And of course, thank you to the Israel Consul's Office for arranging this event and for bringing this group here. It was wonderful, so thank you. I just have a couple of really quick announcements tonight. We know the high holidays are coming up exactly 1 week from tonight. Anything you need to know about the high holidays, you can find in your emails, or you can click the High Holidays tab on our website, btbrc.org. Salichot services are tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, either here in person or via Zoom. Kaver Avot is Sunday morning at 10 o'clock. 2 different locations, Lakeside Memorial Park and Beth David Memorial Gardens. And of course, our Erev Rosh Hashanah services begin a week from tonight here at Beth Torah. And lastly, everybody knows we really work hard to have meaningful religious events here, educational events, special events like this Shabbat service, and we also try to have fun here at Beth Torah. So I'm excited to announce that we are going to have our Beth Torah Comedy Night on January 6th, which is a Saturday night. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to laugh. We're going to have a great time. Everybody really wanted me to be the headliner, but I turned everybody down because I thought we could do better. So I'm happy to announce that we are bringing in comedian Modi, who a lot of people know and love. He's been selling out theaters and comedy clubs and auditoriums all around the world, and he's going to be here at Beth Torah just for us. So please keep an eye out for your emails and letters, and we're going to announce when our tickets are going to go on sale, because it's going to be great, and we hope to have a full house here to laugh with Modi. Thank you, Shabbat Shalom, and Shana Tova.
Thank you, Mr. President. Let's conclude with the Don Olam. Number of the page is 188.
אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא,
נעשה בחפצו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא. ואחרי ככלות הכל, לבדו ימלוך נורא, והוא היה והוא הווה, והוא יהיה בתפארה.
אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא,
נעשה בחפצו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא.
והוא אחד ואין שני,
להמשילו להכבירה, בלי ראשית בלי תכלית, ולא העוז והמשרה. והוא אלי וחי גואלי, וצור חמלי ביצרה, והוא ניסי ומנוס לי, ונתוסי ביום אקרא. בידו אף חינוכי, ואת אישן והעירה, באמרוכי גביעתי, אדוני לי ולא יירא. אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא, נעשה בחפצו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא. שבת שלום, שבת שלום, שבת שלום ומבורך. שבת שלום, שבת שלום, שבת שלום ומבורך. יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, ועל כולם. עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, ועל כולם. סלאם, 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 סלאם עלינו ועל כל העולם. סלאם, שלום. סלאם, 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 סלאם עלינו ועל כל העולם. סלאם, שלום. עוד יבוא עוד יבוא שלום עלינו ועל כולם. צדק, צדק תרדוף, justice, justice, you will pursue the rest of your life. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat